Power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name, they more for me. My name is my name. Power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name, they more for me. The war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, they got one up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name, they more for me. My name is my name. Power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name, they more for me. The war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, they got one up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better.
Gold, Empire.
One body, one spirit, one group. Remember not the sins, transgressions of my youth. Have mercy on me, Lord. What shall I do? I followed after heathens to stop trusting you. The oppressor is the devil. He's not a real Jew. He deceived the whole world, and his punishment is due. I used to be a sinner, but now I'm in the truth. And Yahweh I was sent here to lead me to you. You can catch me all black, camp life downtown. Shades, war crown, 50 priests moving round. Cutting up devils, my voice up loud. Breakdowns for the chosen, the soul standing round. Children of the Lord, we gon' make the Father proud. Keeping laws, one body, got Borgia on the ground. Got them kissing boots, it's real, not a dream. We extreme, so it seems Isaiah 60:14. Sons of oppressors came bending to our feet. The Holy One of Israel requires this of thee. I'm here to spread truth, righteous niggas will agree. You can keep your holidays, what the hell they mean to me? I don't do no Thanksgiving, the natives kin to me. Jeremiah 10:1, give a damn about your tree. These niggas don't sin, no, how can it be? From the ghettos and barrios to teach about a king. One body, one spirit, one group. Remember not the sins, transgressions of my youth. Have mercy on me, Lord. What shall I do? I followed after heathens to stop trusting you. The oppressor is the devil. He's not a real Jew. He deceived the whole world, and his punishment is due. I used to be a sinner, but now I'm in the truth. And Yahweh Shai was sent here to lead me to you. Yahweh Shai, Christ next to God on his throne. Unknown to the heathen, he came for his own. We follow after him, navigating through this earth. Gotta cast off the adversary, put our people first. Marks of the beast, fuck everything we learned. It's a curse, we gon' take it off. Cast it in the dirt. America is hell, our poverty is worse. We can follow these commands, take control of the earth. The turf is now ours, UPK, put it down. Fuck your camp, pack it in, we got boots on the ground. Beers, bras, and drinks, try vibes, how it sound. We coming for the ribs, better hide them drills now. Push it for the kingdom, these priests be renowned. Mightiest of men, we want our crowns now. Playground for the devils, prophetic year round. We gon' prophesy distant, we gon' tear this bitch down. One body, one spirit, one group. Remember not the sins, transgressions of my youth. Have mercy on me, Lord. What shall I do? I followed after heathens to stop trusting you. The oppressor is the devil, he's not a real Jew. He deceived the whole world and his punishment is due. I used to be a sinner, but now I'm in the truth. And yeah, I wish I was sent here to lead me to you. Oppressed every day, struggle each and every way. Blacks die in the ghettos, got my brothers in the cage. At the borders they suffer, I walk around in rage. I ain't trying to hear shit, somebody's gotta pay. The devil has his day, that power gon' sway. In the favor of Israel, we bout to have slaves. The Lord gets the credit, all we do is obey. Cast the adversary out, put his power on display. Babylon's falling, her cities lay burnt. It's a curse for the heathen, deceiving the earth. Judgment reigns, your weapons can't stop it. You are the source for the pain and the losses. Took it all from us, we have no options. Sold us as slaves in chains during auctions. We do the work and you reap the profits. You are the cause of the blood of the prophets. One body, one spirit, one group. Remember not the sins, transgressions of my youth. Have mercy on me, Lord. What shall I do? I followed after heathens to stop trusting you. The oppressor is the devil, he's not a real Jew. He deceived the whole world and his punishment is due. I used to be a sinner, but now I'm in the truth. And yeah, I wish I was sent here to lead me to you. Faithful to the Lord, her man and her nation. Virtuous in work, with the children she is patient. Related by the blood, reminds me of the ancients. Daughters of Zion, be her foundation. Modest in manners, beauty in apparel. Special to the Lord, over Karens and carols. Complete in all respects, our women so thorough. Black princess, coming straight out the ghetto. I tell you, black woman, there was nothing like your grace. Your face, your walk, I'm in love with your shape. In case you didn't know, with you we feel safe. Created just for us, no you can't be replaced. Lay in your bosom, only woman I'll embrace. Got my hair braided, your cooking tastes great. You were with me in the gates, we struggled in the streets. Survived the projects with a small amount of space. She's loyal and she's chaste, her virtue going last. Merchandise is good, she be getting to the cash. She belongs to a priest that ties fire to her ass. Ties fire to her. She opens up her mouth, it's wisdom, no sass. Stretches out her hand, talks good about her man. In the UPK, in a marriage that will last. In a marriage that will last. Created for your man, I love and I need you to do a lot of good, baby, not a lot of evil. Your faith and your works make me known to the people. Hands to the spindle, I don't see another equal. Food from afar, you're always so peaceful. Call me Adawan, you've never been deceitful. Always on time, you say that I'm the prize. Can't call you stingy, you always pay tithes. Look at those eyes, it's crazy time flies. I've known a few ladies, but this one's wise. This one is mine, every order she complies. Bags in disguise, purple freaks she despise. Looking at their wives like they must be suicidal. I gotta give her praise, she is everything but idle. House of Kwamgawan, she is glad to have the title. Follows all the laws, commands in the Bible. She's loyal and she's chaste, her virtue going last. Merchandise is good, she be getting to the cash. She belongs to a priest that ties fire to her ass. Ties fire to her. She opens up her mouth, it's wisdom, no sass. Stretches out her hand, talks good about her man. In the UPK, in a marriage that will last. In a marriage that will last. She be whipping up the meals round men she don't teach. If her brother cross the line, she gon' let her Hebrew speak. Never sitting on her hands, she always on her feet. Cause these priests got camp, there's war up in these streets. And after work is done, she know they gotta eat. Yeah, she show up with some strong and provide them with some meat. It's clear she understands, the brothers got plans. She's fine with it too, cause she's busy with her hands. Seeking wool, maybe flax, trying to find a good deal. This is real, with her money she consider it the field. The hustle in the sister generates well. Out the Passover too, she got everything for sale. Fine linens, jewelry, frankincense, do you well. Got headpieces too, she can ship them through the mail. She never had a father, it's never been a bother, cause she found that too in General Johanna. She's loyal and she's Chaz, her virtue going last. Merchandise is good, she be getting to the cash. She belongs to a piece that ties fire to her ass. Ties fire to her. She opens up her mouth, it's wisdom, no sass. Stretches out her hand, talks good about her man. In the UPK, in a marriage that will last. In a marriage that will last. She's loyal and she's Chaz, her virtue going last. Merchandise is good, she be getting to the cash. She belongs to a piece that ties fire to her ass. Ties fire to her. She opens up her mouth, it's wisdom, no sass. Stretches out her hand, talks good about her man. In the UPK, in a marriage that will last. In a marriage that will last. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yashar Brakatah. My sister Yahweh Shamor Al Thun by Shem Yahushai. I'm preaching Officer Kwamgawan. This is the ISUP carrying the commanding General Yohana. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Of course, we've been bringing out this truth since 1969. We teach that blacks, Latinos, First Nation man and woman are the chosen of the Most High God. The Israelites that the Bible speaks about. And of course, as always, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks about. Today, we're going to talk about the Feast of Purim. We're going to talk about Esther. We're going to bring out some facts about the wicked Haman that conspired against our people, you know what I mean, to try to destroy our people. That's what the Feast of Purim is all about. Of course, we're going to read some scriptures, and we're going to jump right into it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to jump right into it. So let me get my, let me share my screen here. All right, so hopefully you can see this pretty well, and hopefully you can hear me well so I can get into this. All right, so we're going to start in the book of Esther, chapter 3, all right? All right, first of all, before I do that, I'm going to read from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, all right? This is an excellent tool, all right? So I'm going to read about what the Feast of Purim is. This is and this is on page 281 in the big boy, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So it says, the Feast of Purim was kept on the 14th and 15th days of Adar, or March, the last month of the religious year. It is said to have been instituted by Mordecai to commemorate the failure of Haman's plots against the Jews. The word Purim means lots. On the evening of the 13th, the whole book of Esther was read publicly in the synagogue. It was a joyous occasion. Okay, so that's what the basis of what Purim was built off of. Okay. And let me give you tell you what the Zondervan Bible Dictionary says about Esther, right, before we read her book. All right, Esther, which may come from Akkad, a Jewish orphan maiden in the city of Shushan, who became queen of Persia. Her Hebrew name was Hadassah, which means myrtle. Her cousin Mordecai, who was a minor official of the palace, reared her as his own daughter. Xerxes, the Persian king, had divorced his wife, and when he sought a new queen from among the maidens of the realm, he chose Esther. When the Jews in the empire were faced with destruction, she was able to save them. In honor to her, the book which bears her name is read every year at the Feast of Purim. So, first of all, this is an Israelite woman that was taken as a queen for a heathen man, a heathen king at the time. And I'm pretty sure she had no say in so. But the great thing about this woman is that if you look at our people in the situation today, like a lot of our women are just destroyed because the nation is just destroyed in the whole. Men were destroyed, and so the women are destroyed as well. But this woman, she wasn't the type of woman who just sat on social media or cried and complained about her husband having another woman and stuff like that. You understand that? And that's no knock to every woman. I'm just saying this woman had a goal, an agenda, and that was she put her people first before everyone. You understand that? And that's what this book is about. So if you a Black and Hispanic woman are looking for a woman to look up to or to revere, it's somebody like Esther. You understand that? Esther put her nation first. She chose to serve her God, and she loved her people, and that's what this is about. So a lot of times, a lot of women will say, well, that Bible, it doesn't have anything to do with any women. There's actually a lot of very great women in the Bible, and this is one of them, Esther. So we're going to read her book today, all right? And we're going to talk about the story.
So I'm reading right here off the screen. Hopefully you can see this. It's that this is the book of Esther, chapter 3, and it's going to be a couple chapters. I'm just going to go pretty deep into it. It says, after these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Okay, so there's the start of the problem right there. The king put this guy Haman, on top as he's somebody to be revered or respected. But Mordecai, an Israelite man, was not having it, and that just showed you the spirit of your ancestors, black man. And you know what I mean? This is our ancestors. This is what they did. They didn't just bow to anyone. They wouldn't just put pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster in their mouth. They wouldn't do things of such. They wouldn't celebrate no holidays and nothing like that. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgresseth thou the king's commandment? All right. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that he told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. All right. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then Haman was full of wrath. So this is a goddamn heathen who's pissed that an Israelite man will not bow to him, and that's the same situation that you deal with here in America and all over the world. These heathens, they expect you to get down and bow to them and take on their customs or whatnot. But this brother, he was not having it, and that's the spirit that you need to take on, black and Hispanic man, First Nation man. All right, verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. Ahasuerus is one of the kings of Persia, or the Medians. In the first month, that is, the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is, the lot, before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month of Adar. See, there's that word lot. Cast lots, that's what Purim means. Verse 8, and Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of the kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. See, this is a heathen. This is what these stinking heathens do. He said to the king Ahasuerus, he said, there's a people that dwell among us. These people don't bow to nobody. They don't do our customs. They don't listen. They don't even listen to you, king. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to set the brother up, you know what I mean, to get some trouble coming to him. You understand? I said, this is a heathen with a wicked plot. All right. Verse 9, if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries. So he put a hit on our people. You see what I'm saying? He put a hit on Mordecai. This is what they do to us. All right. Verse 10. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. See, it's the Jews' enemy. Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. So the king gave him charge. He gave him what he asked for. All right. Verse 12. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month. And it was written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. And the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces, to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which was the month of Adar, and to take the spoil of them for prey. All right. Verse 14, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. Verse 15, the post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed. All right. So you see what's going on here. This is a wicked bastard who's trying to bring, trouble to our people. Verse 4, chapter 4, Salakia. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting and weeping and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes. Okay, verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not. Then called Esther for Hattach, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was and why it was. So Hattach went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. Also, he gave the copy of the writing of the decree that was given to Shushan to destroy them, to shew it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go unto the king, to make supplication unto him, and to make requests before him for her people. All right, so I'm not going to read every single verse about this. I'm going to skip down some and get into the main point of it. So what's happening right now is this wicked bastard Haman is conspired against our people. And he wants to have Mordecai hanged, and he wants to destroy all the Jewish people, all the Israelite people. Okay. But this sister, Esther, she is, the queen of the king. Okay. And she's an Israelite woman. So she's going to, talk to the king about, about this Haman and to save her cousin Mordecai's life. All right. Okay. Verse 12. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. That is one of the most heavy scriptures you can read. You know why? Because this woman, even though she was told by her cousin, basically don't do it. Don't even go to the king. She said, I'm going to this king. Fast, weep, whatever you got to do, but I'm going to this king to try to save my people and to save you. All right, verse 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded them. All right. This is a great woman, you sisters. You understand that? If you want to see a great woman in the scriptures, read the book of Esther. All right. I'm gonna get into the meat of it. All right. Let's see. Okay, this is when she went to the king. All right. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther the queen standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. See, and what you think she did? Got all dolled up, prettied up, came before the king, and he got weak. This is what you sisters can do when you're in your femininity. You understand that? And when you're serving the Most High God. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? And it shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom. You see that? This sister had power. And Esther answered, it seemed good unto the king. Let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther has said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed. Here she go, because Esther is going to pay him back. Going to pay this wicked bastard back. Verse 7, Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do it tomorrow, as the king had said. Then Haman went forth that day joyful and with glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. Verse 10, nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he had came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh his wife. And Haman told of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. Verse 12, Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared by myself. And tomorrow I am invited unto her also with the king. Verse 13, yet all this availeth me nothing, so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. He hated Mordecai, and he thought he was about to get some type of something else, added to his riches and everything he had already had. But Esther setting this dude up. Verse 14, then said Jerish's wife and all his friends unto him, let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou and merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the king pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. You see this? So the king doesn't really know what's going on because Haman didn't really explain it to him fully what he was trying to do. But the sister Esther is setting Haman up. But you see, this wicked bastard's wife said, let's have this brother hang. And this to let you know how heathen women think of us too. You understand that? The same thing you got going on today, just like the situation. What was it the movie Rosewood was made off. I can't think of it at the top of my head, but they had made allegations that a brother did something to a heathen woman, and then like the Emmett Till story, same thing. But this happens all over history. This is what happens to our people from dealing with these people, these heathens. All right, let me see. Let me skip down some. All right. Okay, let me read a little bit of this and I'm going to jump into it. Chapter 6. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. And the king said, what honor and dignity have done to Mordecai for this? Then said the king's servants that minister unto him, there is nothing done for him. And the king said, who was in the court? Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself? And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor. Let the royal apparel be brought. Let the royal apparel be brought, which the king useth to wear, and let the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal, whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor. Then the king said to Haman, make haste, and take the apparel and the horse as thou hast said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken. So he thought he was going to get it. Haman thought he was going to get it. All right. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning, and having his head covered. And Haman told Zeresh his wife and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh his wife unto him, if Mordecai be the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shalt surely fall before him. And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlains and hasted to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared. All right, now we're getting to the banquet. We try to get through this. I don't have too much time. So this is chapter 7. So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed even to the half of the kingdom. Verse 3. Then Esther the queen answered and said, If I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition and my people at my request. Verse 4, for we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy cannot countervail the king's damage. So she's telling what this wicked bastard tried to do. Verse 5, then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so? Verse 6, and Esther said, the adversary and enemy is this wicked man, this wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen. And the king, arising from the banquet of wine in his wrath, went into the palace garden. And Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen, for he saw that there was an evil determined against him by the king. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed wherein Esther was. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold, so the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. Verse 10, so the king hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified. So I'm going to stop right there. So this wicked bastard Haman had, set it up for where, the brother Mordecai was going to be hanged. You understand that? That's what he had, had in his thoughts. But this sister, this strong sister, Esther, you know what I mean, who stood up for her nation, stood up for her cousin, you know what I mean, had the situation reversed and brought glory to her people. You understand that? So if you're a sister in the UPK or a sister in the world, wherever you may be, if you want to look at a sister that's a very prominent person in the scriptures, a sister that put her nation first, you can read in the book of Esther. All right. So I'm going to share a little bit more with you, and then I'm going to get up out of here. So that's basically what the story of Purim was all about. You understand? This is something that was read every year because it was a great thing in the nation of Israel. All right. So let me go back to sharing my screen here. I'm going to just pull out some things that wicked bastard Haman did. Just some, hopefully you can see it here on the screen. All right. Salakia. I shared the wrong one. I know it's pretty long what I was reading. I was trying to get through it or whatever. I don't have too much time here, but you can go to this and read it yourself. This is the story of Haman. It's in the book of Esther. All right. So I pulled this up on the internet. It's called 12 Facts About the Wicked Haman. All right. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'm going to read a few of them. He was the antagonist of the Purim story. As recorded in the book of Esther, Haman was the scheming prime minister who convinced King Ahasuerus to allow the annihilation of all Jews in the sprawling empire of Persia and Media. His downfall and the stunning unraveling of his plot is celebrated annually on the holiday of Purim. All right, so that's one thing about him. Number 2. And this is heavy because this is what I was talking about these heathens. He was a descendant of Amalek. Amalek is the chief tribe of the Edomites. All right, the fake Jew, the Jewish man. The book of Esther tells us that Haman was a descendant of Amalek, a nation known for its hatred of the Jewish people. All right, that's the Israelites. King Saul, ancestor of Esther and Mordecai, failed to follow God's command to get rid of the Amalek king Agag, and the events of Purim can thus be seen as a rematch for his centuries old feud. All right, let me see. It says he made himself a demigod. After King Ahasuerus promoted Haman to prime minister, he passed a law requiring everyone to bow to Haman, who fancied himself a god, even engraved an idol upon his heart. Mordecai, however, leader of the Jews in that generation, refused. This angered Haman so much that he plotted to wipe out all Jews and made arrangements to hang Mordecai on towering gallows. All right, I got to get up out of here. They want us to close this out. But again, with that, I'm going to close out the class. If you're a brother or sister in the world and you want to come into this truth, you can come to class here at the Carnegie Library here in Beachview. Brothers come in all black, sisters come in, cover your head, keep your mouth closed. You understand that? We got the Passover coming up. We're in the Feast of Purim. You understand that? You go online, pay your tithes, ishupk.com, support this truth. Again, this is the Ashley Buchanan Commanding Journey Honda, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. With that, the water for tuning in. Shalom, Israel.